Well, gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you all back. I'm here with Noah Shad and Dallas Appeldorn, each co-commissioners of the SD Boys Madden League. We're here with episode 2 of Madden Weekly, and let's just get it kicked off right away. So, Dallas, first time on the show. What do you have to say to the league?
Not a lot. It's going really well. Really like the dynamic of everyone. There's a lot of, I think the good word is like animosity between throughout the league. There's a lot of hatred towards one another, but also just good competitive fun. I think so far it's pretty even throughout the league. So I'm really liking it so far.
Who would you say that hatred is directed at the most?
I mean, like Shad hit at last week. Like it's pretty just common. Just Josh.
Yeah, he
I
does.
think I think it's pretty. It's just kind of a common thing at this point. Like no one really likes him. So, yeah.
Shad, what about you?
Wait, what was that?
What do you have to say on the topic?
Well, I have a question for Dorney leading off of that. Do you believe Josh is a beatable opponent?
I've never lost to him, so yes.
Okay, and then off the top of your head, do you think you could name all the players in the league that could beat Josh?
Anyone that doesn't lose to a computer, and actually scratch that because he just lost to one that lost to a computer.
Oof, that is true.
So I don't actually know every team in the league, like I stated before this meeting started. But I would think that the list is more than half.
Would you
Josh is definitely a pretty solid player, one of the better players in the league, but he's kind of like Kirk Cousins. His highs are really high and his lows are very low.
Would you say that it'd be easier to name the teams that he could beat than list all the ones that he can't beat?
For me, no. Just any team. Specifically,
all right. Enough of that.
Specifically, I think Kane. I think he's going to beat Kane this year. I think he has Kane's number.
Oh, big call out. Bold prediction. Yeah. Bold prediction.
I think at this rate, it's fair to say everybody has Kane's number.
True that.
Yeah, big upset since we talked last time. Brody Mao, one of the least active members of the league, pretty much doesn't exist, left the group message, came out last week and beat Kane. What are your thoughts on that upset? Surprised, not surprised?
So I would normally say I was surprised, but as a little insider information, I was talking to Brody a couple weeks ago, and he texts me, and he says like the rest of the league better watch out, and that he's gonna start actually trying and watching Madden YouTube, which is a sin within this league. By the way,
it is the first original sin.
So all I'm gonna say is whether or not that's true, I don't know, but I will say that he has been not very good, and then he just all of a sudden comes out of nowhere and beats Kane. That's all I'm going to say.
All right.
Coming off of still the topic of upsets, how do you feel about Mannix, notably the worst player in the Madden League, and that is not up for debate, taking down the 49ers?
That is pretty impressive. I lost to the 49ers. He's pretty good. He's pretty predictable. Doesn't help that slants is what kills me. My McDonald's Wi-Fi does not allow me to move my defensive players at all. So even a slant is gonna take me out. But Mannix, that's good. He's got a good coach in Kane, and like he's 14, so he has a lot of time to play. But yeah, no, that's impressive.
Whose Wi-Fi would you say is worse, yours or Kane's?
Worse?
Yes.
Definitely mine.
Do you think anybody has worse Wi-Fi than you in the league?
I think it's got to be close. Maybe Brody. He lives in a nursing home. They don't really know what Wi-Fi is.
This is confirmed. He does live in a nursing home.
There is an emergency poll.
Yeah.
Confirmed. Brody Mao plays in a nursing home.
Yep. So I would say out of anyone, it might be him. I can't think of anyone else that would have that bad of Wi-Fi, which is ironic, because I work from home sometimes, and we just have shitty Wi-Fi. That's all I can say.
Well, it sounds like you better upgrade.
There have been people, Dallas, there have been people who have been asking questions as to why you don't just buy a PS4 and why you decide to always play your Madden games on the Nintendo 64s at McDonald's. Do you have any comments on those, or?
No, I haven't heard that one. I don't know. I mean, like, it's just, I mean, think about it. Like, who wouldn't want to play in the McDonald's atmosphere? Like, it's electric. Every game, there's just something different going on. Whether it's the kids' fun zone or just anything like that. Like, I mean, you can't get enough of it, really. And, like, I mean, why would I want to spend money on a PS4 when I can save the money, play at McDonald's, and just get food while I'm there? You know what I mean?
All the money you can spend on a PS4, that's $400 large iced coffees.
Exactly.
I see where you're getting at here.
You know, I'm a big iced coffee guy, so that's all I'm gonna say.
Have you been peed on while playing yet?
Peed on?
Yes, by one of the.
I can't confirm nor deny that. I will say that there's been a couple close games, and they weren't due to bad play nor bad internet. I was just distracted.
Also, on a more serious topic, how do you plead in the case that you've been using bots to help you win your Madden games? It's kind of an outcry from the league. It sounds like Commissioner Shaw and Kittleson are looking into that. What do you have to say to those who say you're using bots?
Can you further explain these bots, so-called bots that I'm accused of using?
Basically, you hack the system and use AI to win your games. I didn't realize it was that tough of a concept.
We did look into it, Dorney, and we did see all the porn bots that hop up on your Twitter, and I do see a correlation between this.
The porn bots?
Yeah, we've seen them.
Yeah, I considering that I think my user record is I think it's much below 500. I don't think, I mean, if I am using bots, I think I need to invest in better bots than I'm using. I mean, against the computer, they're nice, you know, they're nice having those bots because I'm just able to win a little bit easier. But I'm not admitting that I use bots, but I'm just saying they do make it a little easier.
Well, I'm sure you'll get treated just like the Astros, and nothing will happen to any of your team for cheating. But let's dive into some of the league happenings right now. So as we pull up the power rankings coming into this week, which there has been some change since these were last posted, with the couple teams getting games in. What do you guys think of this week's power rankings? Who are some of your sleeper teams? Who's overrated? Who's underrated? We'll start with you, Sean.
Oh, we're starting with me. Okay. Overrated. I said this last week when you had me on. Overrated Dolphins. They keep moving up, and they should be at like 15. And that's really all I have to say. Besides that, it looks pretty solid.
Fair enough. So our power rankings writer stepped it up this week and actually put together a decent product. Nice to see. Dorney, what do you have to say? What do you think about these rankings?
So, I don't know. So looking at it, I would say I think the 49. So do we know what the 49ers were at last week by chance?
I can pull it up. They were at 6 last week.
So I personally think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I personally think that I don't think they fell enough considering the team that they lost to.
It's a solid point.
They only dropped 3 spots after losing to one of the worst Madden players that we've ever had.
Would you
we
say
can't really talk, though, Dallas, because we did lose to the 49ers.
Yeah.
Would you guys say that Mannix is better or worse than I was when I played in the league?
better?
I haven't actually watched him play, but just by the looks of it and by his just research, like his past games. Shad, you said you think he's better?
Well, I will say I've watched his streams, these last two ones, and it does help that he has Kane over top of him in his ear.
That I agree. I think it's I think him having Kane. So I mean, sooner or later, like I said, he's 14. He has Kane as his brother, who is well known as the GOAT. And I think he's just sitting there right over his shoulder the entire game. And he's eventually, I mean, even probably now, that's why I do think he's better than you, Ben. So maybe not the worst in the history of our Madden league, but just by recent, or like the past season and a half or whatever we're into, he's not great. I don't think he fell far enough, the 49ers specifically. And yeah, I mean, sooner or later, Mannix will get up. He'll get better, and there won't be so much disrespect. But right now, that's what I think.
Ben, just to put this in a clarification for you, I remember playing you one time, and in a 2-minute span, you threw 7 picks.
Hey, there's a reason I'm in the booth and not on the field, boys. So with that, we'll move ahead. Game of the week has already come and gone. We had a thriller between the football team and the Cowboys. What are your takeaways from the football team getting all the way up to 13-0, last remaining undefeated team, and the Cowboys really sticking in there, but falling just a little short at the end?
I would say it's pretty impressive. I mean, I think Jason has always been a pretty solid player. He's just that guy that could win at any point. He just, a lot of times, he just doesn't have luck go his way. But I mean, I will say that Marcus is a very good Madden player, and him keeping up with him shows that there is a very bright future for those Cowboys.
Can we note our graphics guy did step it up this week?
Football team.
He did step it up with the football team, trying to at least hide his racism, but he also, it seems, he misplaced the Super Bowl tallies.
No, and I noticed the same thing.
Yeah.
I think for some reason in his head, he was doing that to get us off of the point that he is racist. And I wanted, and last week when I watched,
if you think about it,
last week when I watched episode 1, I thought to myself, maybe Kane is racist. And the more like I thought about it over the past week, and now that I see this little shenanigans going on, I think that it's true. And it's kind of sad to think that we have someone like him in this league, but
especially as a commissioner.
And he's a co-commissioner, and I will take blame for that. I did ask him to be co-commissioner.
So on the record, I was against the idea.
He was. So I do feel bad for that. And we might have to kind of have a conversation about that later.
You see a correlation between Kane being racist and every person in this league being white?
I can't say I do.
I do.
Primarily, I guess it is kind of, because a lot of them are his friends. That definitely could be a thing. That definitely could be a thing. I don't wanna say anything. Kane, I'm just hoping that Kane isn't that type of guy. And I might just be in denial at this point.
So it's tough to give him an intervention too when he lives in a state that doesn't even believe in
daylight savings.
So
I know.
I don't even know what time it is where it's probably fucking 10 in the morning where he's at right now. I don't know.
I think there's more correlation with him living in Arizona without daylight savings time than there is with the amount of white people in this league, with him being racist. That's all I'm going to say.
All right. Well, let's move on from this racism talk. We don't need to Debbie down anybody's days. It's sad enough to have a racist friend. It's worse to have to hear us talk about it. So as we look into this playoff picture here, Dallas might be the only time we have you on for a week or two. So looking ahead to playoffs coming up really quick, where do you see things shaping up?
Well, so for me, I think it's gonna be close. I play Marcus. I play the Rams. I don't know who else I play, but yeah, it's gonna be kind of difficult for me. So we'll see. But I've been able to sort of get my game together a little bit, but it's still difficult. I have McDonald's Wi-Fi, and I'm just not very good. So we'll see what happens. But I think for everyone else, I mean, I think it's a shoe-in for the Cowboys. The 49ers, I mean, definitely shoe-in. Shad, what is your remaining schedule over there?
I have Patriots, Computer, Black Knights.
Patriots 6-7. Who's the Black Knights?
Scobes. He's in your division. You should know
Scobes. Oh yeah, he's not very good.
You are fighting with him the way it sounds for a divisional spot.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's gonna be more so of me playing really good players compared to him being at all good at this game.
You could theoretically lose the division.
No, yeah, that's a definite possibility. Even though I beat him twice, which sucks. But yeah, no, I mean, it's pretty hilarious when you look at the NFC compared to the AFC. It's just a common reminder of Josh always just somehow being in the opposite division of every good player besides Kane, and then he just uses that as an excuse to not be in Kane's division, and like that was all of our decisions, whatever. So I mean, the AFC is whatever. Like they're all. I mean, it looks like there's 5-6 teams that are in the hunt that each and every one of them can make the playoffs by winning like 2 more games. It's like the NFC East out here.
I dug deep into the group message for the league one day because I was getting sick and tired of Josh mentioning how we all picked the opposite team of Kane.
Mm-hmm.
When I dug down, we didn't even have a choice because all of the good players had the late picks and everyone went AFC. So we could only pick from the NFC. So really, it's Josh is the one who picked the easy conference, and we just got stuck on the shitty conference.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I mean, even if we went opposite of Kane, like look at who's in our conference. You got Marcus, you got the Rams. I don't know who the Panthers is, Jackson, I think, who has come out of nowhere, by the way. Good for him. Lamar Jackson does wonders, let me tell you. I mean, you got guys up and down the lineup. I think anywhere from the Bucks all the way to Marcus could potentially win the Super Bowl. So, I mean, and then you look at the AFC and Josh, Dolphins. Honestly, I don't even know who that is. And you got Kane, Brody maybe, but that's about it.
Yeah, the AFC certainly does seem to be top heavy, while the NFC is wide open. And as we've seen, anybody can win any matchup. And it'll just come down to does that Washington football team slip up?
Yep.
I guess we hate on Josh a lot in this league, but I will say I would love to see him take down Kane in a conference championship.
It would be nice. Hasn't he? I thought he did before.
When?
I don't know. I thought he won the Super Bowl or something at one point.
I don't remember it, so it didn't happen. Next.
Exactly.
Next.
All right. Well, before we leave here today, I would like to hear your service announcement, your warning, I guess I would say, to the rest of the league as the playoffs approach, Dallas. What would you say to the rest of the league to remind them that you're a real contender here?
So, I will say that if I am able to make the playoffs, which is a kind of a long shot, I think, at this point, because it's just so tight and I have some tough games coming up. But if I were to make the playoffs, I think by the time we play the playoffs, I will be in Sioux Falls, more than likely playing at your apartment, Ben.
Big time matchup.
Which in return equals better internet. And I will just say that with better internet, things will be different.
All right. You heard it here first, folks. It's getting out of McDonald's, getting to my apartment. Shad, any last words for Dallas?
I do have a serious question for Dallas, revolving around the Vikings. In the last few weeks, you guys have come up with a lot of injuries lately. Do you have any comments on where the team's going? What your guys' hopes are with all these injuries coming up?
I played Kane, and I had like 5 multiple week injuries on running plays to like wide receivers. So yeah, it's not looking good out there in Minnesota. But luckily, in the off season, I snagged a world class trainer. He's doing his dandiest to make up some lost time for these guys. It's looking like we're gonna get McLaurin back next week. We got TJ Watt back this last week. That was a big help. Didn't help me beat Brody, but it kind of helped me out getting some sacks and forcing getting some pressure. So yeah, I mean, I think in the long run, I'm gonna be almost completely healthy come a week or two from now, and I think that's gonna be slightly helpful to my team.
All right. Well, we're happy to hear it. Well, this turns another page on Madden Weekly. We thank you all for joining us and our guest Dallas here this week. Go get your games in, and good luck, everybody.
Hey, I appreciate you guys having me.
Thanks for coming, Nate.
Talk to you guys later.